everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Long time no see. It's been a while since I last uploaded something. The day I'm filming this is the 22nd of December, but I'm not actually sure when I'll be putting it live on my YouTube channel. I really don't care if nobody watches this video. I kind of wanted to upload it just for my personal reflection and to look back on, because 2021 has been one hell of a year, not just for me but for a lot of people. This video is just going to be a really chilled one. I mean, I've really not made much of an effort for this video, as you can probably see, but I really wanted to get this up because I want to break down how this year has been for me, the highs, the lows. So I don't know how long this video will be, but if you do watch the whole thing, then thank you so much. If you like it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And I've got a little notebook, so that's what I'll be looking. If you see me looking down, I'm just referring to that. I've just made a few notes on things that have happened throughout the year. Obviously we're going to start in January because that's, you know, where the year started. So January for me was like new beginnings. In January it was like the last month that I was living at home with my parents. So if you guys are new around here, for 19 years I lived in Nottingham with my parents and my sister, and I just made the decision to move to London because that's where my long-term boyfriend lives, and you know, we've been together for, at that point, 6 years, and you know, it was time to move things along, and London just seemed like the right place to start our life together. So yeah, January was a bit of a bittersweet, mixed emotions kind of month because I was excited but I was also really nervous. You know, I packed all of my things that I was bringing down with me. In my head I was thinking I'm still 2-3 hours away from home or my parents, and I can just see them whenever I want or can. Yeah, I moved to London at the end of January, tried to see as many friends as I could in Nottingham before moving down, so you know, I didn't know when I would see them again, so it was quite a full-on month trying to see everybody. And obviously like my last couple of shifts in Nottingham at work, so I'm a children's nurse, and yeah, it was, like I say, mixed emotions, excitement but nerve-wracking at the same time. And also, you know, even though I'd been coming to London quite frequently to travel to see my boyfriend, I'd been living in Nottingham for 19 years, so it was going to be quite a big change in terms of like my routine and like just my life in general. 2020 was obviously a really tough year for everybody, with, you know, COVID coming along and ruining everything, and I was just about to be qualified as a nurse for 1 year when I moved to London. So it was quite hard because throughout COVID in 2020 I had to shield for 3 months after qualifying due to my medical condition, and I feel like I didn't get the full experience during my first year as qualified. So then move into a completely new city and a new trust was something that made me really nervous. But I had like so much support from particularly my boyfriend, who just tried to keep me calm and collected and positive, and yeah, looking back at it now, it's definitely the best decision that I ever made. Moving on to February, I obviously started my new job in February. I had a week of training prior to starting on the wards, and then I had what's called 6 supernumerary shifts. So that's when you start on a ward but you don't actually take you're not counted in like the numbers of staffing, so you work alongside someone taking on your own patients, but you have the support of a staff member so that you can kind of get used to the ward, how it works, things like that. So yeah, I had 6 supernumerary shifts, and yeah, it was quite a lot to to take in home workouts was still a thing back then as well, so I don't think at this point the gyms had opened yet, so I was still doing home workouts in between. And then unfortunately in February, my boyfriend's family dog Max, who was just as much, I'd like to think just as much my family dog as was his, because obviously I got to know him and spend a lot of time with him in the 6.5 years that I was with Alan. He passed away, and that was really difficult. You know, difficult for Alan, for his parents, for me. It all happened very suddenly, and you know, when you love a pet as much as you love a person, it's really difficult when you lose someone, and that was really hard. I tried to be there for my boyfriend, of course, because he spent, you know, 11 years living with Max. I've just moved to London and Max passes away. Like, it just didn't make sense in my head, like, why that had to happen. We do really miss him, and he definitely left, you know, a real emptiness in the flat that we're living in. That was a really emotional and hard time, to be honest. And then March quickly came along, and in March I got the news that I had to shield again, which was really frustrating for me because I had just started at a new trust, and it was like everything that happened when I first qualified last year was happening all again. So I had to shield for the whole of, pretty much the whole of March. I had my second COVID vaccine, which, you know, it's not a highlight of the year or anything like that, but I think we need to obviously talk about that, and it will be marked in history that, you know, so many people have had these COVID vaccinations. So March is obviously my boyfriend's birthday, and around that time is when the COVID memorial wall was being started in South Bank in London. So me and Alan actually, well, me, Alan and his parents, we actually contributed, and we drew some love hearts on the wall. And yeah, it was quite amazing to see, you know, all the people that came together to make that happen. And yeah, it was quite incredible, and it's cool for us to say that we, you know, drew a love heart on that wall as well. April, I returned to work after shielding. I had one supernumerary shift when I went back, and then it was just, you know, all hell broke loose. So I am on a rotation program, so I rotate 3 different wards, and then I have to apply for a permanent job somewhere. And the first rotation that I started on was a general medical ward, which was the busiest and most eye-opening and challenging, you know, ward that I've ever worked on. But I feel like it really advanced me as a person and as a nurse as well. I definitely learned a lot, and it was really challenging, and it really affected my mental health because of how busy and how stressful it all was. But you know, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't not have wanted to experience that ward, because I feel like if you can survive that ward, you can survive any ward. I also got to do my first ever hospital transfer, which for me was always something I really wanted to do when I was a student, but I never got the chance to do it. So being able to do it as a qualified nurse was really exciting. I really enjoyed it, and luckily the patient that I transferred was relatively well, so nothing too exciting happened, but the transfer itself was really exciting for me. Gyms opened again in April. My mum and my sister had their birthdays in April. I didn't get to spend their birthdays with them. I believe I was working during the time of their birthdays in April, but I'm hoping to be able to spend it with them next year. Last year was really sad actually, because it was my mum's 50th and my sister's 21st, and they are a day apart, and I had planned like this huge surprise birthday party, which obviously never happened because COVID had other ideas. May was a pretty good month, to be honest. So May is my birthday month. I did quite a lot of vlogging that month because I had a week off for my birthday, so I vlogged quite a few bits for my YouTube channel. I saw lots of my family and friends during that time as well. It was also a really good month for me in terms of my type 1 diabetes, which is my medical condition, because my HbA1c, which I'm not going to go too much into detail of what that is, but you can, you know, research about it, or I can leave a link about what that is. It was the best it's ever been, and that really gave me like a confidence boost, and it just made me really happy to know that things were heading in the right direction health wise, because health is the most important thing at the end of the day. But then at the end of the month, my boyfriend had a motorcycle crash, unfortunately, on bank holiday weekend, and so I had been on a day shift, and my shifts are from 7:30 in the morning till 8 p.m. at night. He had told me that he had a motorcycle accident, and when I got home at 8 o'clock, or whenever I finished, I had to take him to A&E, and I was waiting for him, I think, until like 2-3 in the morning. I can't even remember now, but bless him, he was on crutches for a little while, but luckily he recovers really quickly from his injuries. But yeah, that was just a bit of a downer for the end of May. So June I had my first ever microblading session, which if you don't know what that is, again, I did a video about it, and still to this day I do not regret getting my microblading done. I think it's the best thing I have made the decision to do for my eyebrows, and I still love them now as much as I did then. My sister also passed her driving test, which was really good news to receive, because, you know, it's always great when a family member achieves something, and I was really happy for her achieving that. There was an event that happened as well with family members, which I'm not going to go into at all because it's definitely not my place, but it has been kind of, you know, it affected myself and Alan and, you know, other people, and that was quite hard to deal with as well. But it's obviously something that I'm not going to talk about on here, but it's just something that happened at that time which has left a difficult and challenging effect from then onwards. That's probably not going to make any sense to anyone, but like I say, it's not my place to talk about. July was a big turning point for myself and Alan, because we started viewing some houses to move into together. So July we went to view our first ever house. Bearing in mind at this point we've been together 6.5 years. I've been living in London since February. We went to view our first house back in July. We loved it. Obviously we viewed a few houses, but we loved this first one that we went to view. We loved it. We put an offer on it. The offer got accepted. We were over the moon. It was just the best thing that had happened to us this year. Bought a sofa for the house. We got to know the area that the house was in. Obviously I'm not going to disclose the area for obvious reasons. And then July I also got a new tattoo, which is a tattoo that I've been wanting to get for quite a while now. It's a tattoo that's really personal to me. All my tattoos have meanings, and this one is in memory of my maternal grandparents, who have both passed away quite a few years ago now, but they always used to call their grandchildren their roses. It was like a thing that they would say in Portuguese. So the 2 roses are in memory of them, and I absolutely love it. I'll actually link down below the Instagram of the girl who did them, because she is absolutely amazing at what she does, and she also created an incredible incredible tattoo piece for my boyfriend, which again I'll pop some pictures up of on screen. In August we dog sat a little doggy, no idea what breed he is, but his name is Pico, so he's a Portuguese dog. And yeah, it was really weird having a pet around, especially like a little dog around after Max had passed. It was really weird having him around here. At the same time, it was so nice because, you know, there's nothing better than coming home to like a dog greeting you and jumping on you and licking you. So he was just a bit of happiness as well around the house, especially for Alan's parents. It was really nice having that dog around, and he's so lovable and cute. And then August, we were having issues with the house that we had put an offer down for, so things weren't going quite to plan as we had wanted. It was all going too well to begin with. It was all like too good to be true. There had to be like a little bump in the road, and in September we actually started to view different houses just in case things did fall through with that house, which they did. Unfortunately, that first house that we put an offer down on, it did fall through, so we, you know, were searching in September for other places within the same area that we'd been looking at, and fortunately for us, we did find a better house. It was a little bit over the budget that we had budgeted for, but we absolutely fell in love with it, and we negotiated and we put an offer down which got accepted again. But this time around we weren't getting our hopes up too much because of what had happened with the first one. Also, I started my second rotation on a renal and short stay unit, which was a lot less stressful than the first rotation. My mental health improved massively. I was enjoying going to work again. It was just so much nicer than the first rotation that I had, and I'm still there at the moment. I'm there until February, and then I moved to my third and final rotation. And I mean, just to throw in there as well, in September I also had a little bit of a pay rise, which I don't think anyone would complain about, so that was quite nice. In October was quite a nice month as well, so I had a couple of I had a night out, my first ever proper night out in London with two of my friends who came down from Nottingham. I passed a course that I have to complete every year for my nursing, which is a paediatric immediate life support course. So I had that in October and I passed it, which I was really happy about because it's quite an intense day course, so I was really happy that I passed that. And then I had a week off annual leave in October, so I did another week of vlogging. Me and Alan and my sister and my cousin, who isn't actually my cousin but I treat her like one, Mickey, we went to Scarefest, so that was really fun. I really enjoy Scarefest and I love Alton Towers, so put the two together, it's just a really good day out. November started off really good, to be honest. So I went to a friend's 30th birthday party, this girl that I had met during my nursing degree. She turned 30, me and Alan went to her party. It was really good, we had a lot of fun. There was a lot of meetups with different friends, things like that, quite a lot of socializing. My best friend Sarah, whose first daughter is my goddaughter, she announced that she had had a second child, Evie, who is absolutely beautiful. I've not had the chance to like officially meet her properly yet, but I was so happy for her and her husband Andy for the fact that they had had this beautiful second baby girl. I'm really happy for my goddaughter because she was a big sister now, and yeah, so that was really great news to receive sort of at the start / middle of November. Everything was just sort of falling into place as well with all of the house stuff, you know, things were all the boxes were being ticked basically. And then sort of near the end of November I got the news from my family that my dad's mum, so my grandma, had passed away, and that was really difficult because last minute we had to get some flights to Portugal because that's where my family are from and they live. So we had to, me, my dad, my mum and my sister got a last minute flight to Portugal. We spent 4 days there. We attended her funeral. It was a bittersweet feeling because I hadn't seen my dad's side of the family, or we, you know, we hadn't all been together for 10 years. And to be reunited was so nice. Like, it was lovely seeing my cousins, my aunties, my uncle, my granddad. But then there was a really important person missing there, which was my grandma. And, you know, she had been unwell for a while. She had kidney cancer, but she'd had treatments, she'd had an operation, she'd recovered well from the operation. But she had a very weak heart, and I believe that's what just gave up in the end. So, you know, it was a beautiful ceremony, a beautiful send-off for her, but I really struggled, as did all of my family, with her loss. And it took me a good, I'd say, 2 to 3 weeks to actually be able to recompose myself and sort of get back to like normal life. And, you know, like with anyone who passes away, grief is really, it's really weird. Like, you have moments where you're okay, you have moments where you're really not okay, and you remember that person, the memories, the things you did with them, and it just makes you upset because you can no longer have them there. You can no longer speak to them, or, you know, touch their hand or give them a hug, or, you know, it's, yeah. All I can do now is obviously just remember the person that she was, just like with Max, remember the good times that we had with him. And actually, on the day that I'm filming this video, the 22nd of December, it is a month since my nan passed. So yeah, I just hope that she is resting well wherever she is, and I hope that she's at peace. And then this month, obviously, again, really bittersweet. So still really fresh memories of like my nan passing and stuff. And my parents were actually meant to be spending Christmas and New Year with them this year, and unfortunately they're no longer going, mostly because of COVID restrictions tightening up again at the moment. But it was just really sad for me to know that my dad wasn't going to be able to now spend Christmas with his, like, both of his parents. But this month, me and Alan went to Winter Wonderland with my sister and her boyfriend. That was a really good time. You know, it's going to be a real family Christmas this year. Me and Alan haven't bought gifts for anyone but Rosie, our goddaughter, and her sister. That's the only people that we've bought presents for. And we've not asked for anyone to get us anything either, because of, obviously, you know, buying a house is really expensive. And yeah, this year is really just going to be about eating lots of food, as Christmas should be, and yeah, just spending time with family members. This month I also got food poisoning, which I've never had food poisoning before, and I swear to you, if you've never had it before, you're lucky. If you have, you'll know the struggles and how horrible it is. But it wasn't just the fact that I had food poisoning, it was also the fact that I essentially was in bed all day / toilet all day, vomiting, but I missed my mother-in-law's 50th birthday because I was under the impression that it was her 49th birthday, but it wasn't. So I felt really bad the next day when I found out that it was her 50th. And I know that she'll probably be watching this video, so I do apologise again. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. We'll make it up to you, I promise. It was also my dad's birthday, so we tried to make his birthday as special as possible because it was his first birthday without his mum. And I think he had a really nice day. I hope he did. Also, December was the month that we exchanged contracts of our house, which I can't believe I'm actually saying. It still feels unreal after everything that happened with the first house and it all falling through after the process that we'd been through. We have finally got a house and we are picking up the keys in the new year, and I am so excited for you guys to come along with us on this journey, which I'm not going to show too much of, but I obviously want to document for myself mostly. When we do move in, I will be doing an empty house tour and just doing a couple of hauls and things of what we get and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if that's something that you guys like, let me know. Let me know what kind of things you would like to see. Like I said, I won't expose too much on YouTube, but I would like to document some of the journey. I'm so excited / nervous. Obviously it's very nerve-wracking. The last thing that happened in December, which is still current, is that we've got another little pet that we are looking after in the house, and it's not a dog, it's a little cat, which, I mean, he isn't so little, he's 1 year old, but he is huge. I will show you him in just a second. He's just down here. But again, he's been like really nice to have around. I love cats. I love dogs as well, but I think cats are just like so funny. They just do the most random things. And this cat loves being held like a baby. He's super friendly, super fluffy, really cute, has the most gorgeous eyes, which you'll see in a second. And yeah, it's just been so nice to have him around. And he's here until the 5th of January, so we've got him for a couple more weeks, which is really nice. So this is him. This is Valentino. Guys, he's honestly the cutest thing ever. Look. He doesn't look very impressed right now. He likes being held like a baby. So my battery is flashing, so I'm going to have to end this video really quickly, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to future vlogs in our new house in the new year. I know I am looking forward to it. This year has been up and down, as it has for a lot of people, I'm sure, but you know, it's been a year that I will remember for good and for bad reasons. But it's definitely made me a better person, a better nurse, and appreciate things a lot more. Valentino, you're gonna say bye to everyone? I hope you all have a good Christmas, or had a good Christmas if I upload this after Christmas, and New Year, and I hope you all stay safe. I'll see you guys really soon with another video. We're gonna go now, aren't we? We're gonna go now. Bye. Guys, look at this cat right now. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute.